I'm Jenny King, and I'm a Sandbox Fellow with the Global Exchange Program. And we have with us here today Sasha Kumar, Caitlin Ferguson, and Malcolm Charles, who are our featured fellows for the month. And I'd like to start off asking each of you if you could tell me a little bit about the project you're working on and your role with the project. Sasha, why don't we start with you?
Right. Well, I'm Sasha, and this is Caitlin over here, and we're both junior fellows here at the Foundation working for the Deshpande Fellowship Program. I'm going to speak a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the future, and Caitlin's going to talk about what we have done so far in the program. So we're going to be working on three main things. The first thing is that we will be working on executing existing modules that they have in the program. The second thing is we will be planning and executing our own modules. For instance, I'll be doing a finance module, Caitlin will be doing a social entrepreneurship module, and then we will also spend a little bit of time working with the other programs like LEAD and Entrepreneurship Academy, doing seminars for them and helping them with some of their programs as well.
So as Sasha mentioned, we are both fellows with Deshpande Fellowship Program, and I'm going to speak on what we just finished doing. So we were spending our last couple months preparing curriculum for the English program and the presentation program, and then we spent the last 45 days putting that into action and teaching the sixth batch of fellows. So we spent 4 hours in the morning teaching them English and grammar, and then we spent 4 hours in the evening teaching them presentation skills and also mentoring them and serving as a resource and preparing them for the rest of their fellowship.
I work with Entrepreneurship Academy, which is a program that works to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem within academia and the sandbox. And my work as a junior fellow has two primary facets. One is to help teach courses in the local colleges, entrepreneurship courses. The other is to work with e-cells, which are essentially college student groups whose members are interested in developing their entrepreneurial skills. I design and facilitate activities for the students and help to motivate them to act entrepreneurially outside of the classroom.
So Sasha, it sounds like you and Caitlin were working pretty long and intense days during the pre-training. And I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about, what inspires you most about your work to get you through those really long and intense days?
I think it was my students that kept me going during those long hours and seeing the progress and the development within them. I think that as a teacher I was looking for that moment where you kind of see the light bulb go off and you see them nod their heads, and that's when you know that they really have understood the concept that you're trying to teach them. And that is a powerful moment, and that's the moment that I was looking for. Because we all know that knowledge is power, and we're giving these students the knowledge and tools that they need to succeed in life. So we are potentially having an impact, a lasting impact on them for the rest of their lives. So I think if I put my work into a greater context, if I put it into the bigger picture and I looked at it that way, I could see the reward, and that was really what kept me going during those long hours.
So Malcolm, the next question is for you. And I'd like you to tell us a little bit about why you think now is such an important time to be working in the development sector in India on a social venture.
There's never been a better time to start a social venture here in India. I think the Indian government, both at the state and central levels, have realized that they alone cannot drive the country's development. So they've been supportive both politically and economically to private enterprises and to public-private partnerships. And so as a result, there's a huge confluence of NGOs, academics, financial institutions, entrepreneurs, and large corporations that are working here in India to target the bottom of the pyramid. And as on a whole, all this activity, while chaotic, has created an ecosystem that is conducive to new partnerships, ideas, and social ventures that can have a great impact here.
And Caitlin, I'd like to finish with you. If you could tell us about what has been the biggest challenge you've faced in your work so far and how you've overcome that challenge.
So one of the biggest challenges that I had to overcome was going through the 45 days of pre-training, and within that, despite the long working hours, the biggest challenge was the difference between the way I was taught and the way that the fellows were taught. There's a big difference in the Indian education system and the US education system. So it was a challenge to get the fellows to come out of their boxes and to explore a new kind of learning and to get them to think in different ways and to raise their hands and ask questions and really participate in their learning. So with that, I had to really work on my communication with them and I really had to work on my patience as well.
So thank you, Caitlin, Sasha, and Malcolm for sharing with us today. And thank you all for listening to our Featured Fellow segment for this month.